Is mine? No, it's not. Okay.
Welcome to Boss Up Goddess. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I interview trailblazing women who share their wisdom to help you live bigger, better, and bolder. With me tonight is one of my favorite people. Her name is Rhonda Welsh, and she has so many tremendous talents. I don't know where to start, but she is a poet, she is an author, she is a strong woman, and she's doing the work. She is doing the work to boss up and be the goddess that she has always been. I've known Rhonda for several decades now. And tonight we're going to talk about using our time during the pandemic to do the self work, have revelations with the help of Barbie. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Welcome, Rhonda.
Welcome. I mean, thank you, Elizabeth.
You're
I feel
welcome.
welcome.
I've always admired you so much. We met through the National Association of Black Journalists chapter here in Detroit, and I've watched you blossom and do all these beautiful things. And so we kind of have a mutual admiration society going on here.
Absolutely.
But I would, can you tell us what you've been up to during the pandemic, Rhonda, about healing and doing this self work that is inspiring these tremendous revelations for you?
Well, initially, probably like everyone else, I was panicked and I was numb. And I literally spent a ton of time with my little adult coloring book and beading and just kind of sitting there freaking out about what was going on. And at some point, I decided to stop resisting what was happening because this is a world, pretty much a worldwide thing, right? And so that's a very strong signal that if this is a worldwide thing, maybe we need to pause a bit. Maybe
Yes.
we need to take some time and look inward. So
Mhm.
I began to do a lot of inner work, and I am a huge fan of therapy. Therapy is my jam.
Mm.
And I've always been a big fan of prayer and a big fan of meditation. And I've always done therapy sort of in small tidbits, but I've been really working with my therapist on some issues.
Mhm.
And so I've also started working on some of my personal issues, and those issues with trust, those issues with not feeling worthy of certain things. And so it's been a lot of books and a lot of journaling and a lot of tapes. And so one of the ways that I've been working on the issues, and you mentioned this in the earlier, was with Barbie. And, and
Woohoo!
I'll get to have that
Love
off.
that.
Sorry.
Show us again.
Oh, here's my wait. This will really give you this will give you some clues here. And if I had on a short skirt, I swear these look just like my legs. So, so, and if you notice, this Barbie doesn't look like a lot of the Barbies you see. Even if you see, Black Barbie, she usually has like a super, super, super extra slender body, and she has very thin legs. And so, what I loved about this particular Barbie is she reminded me of me. She even has the
Wow.
same highlights that I
I
have.
I
So
love it. She's like your twin.
she's like
Oh,
my little
and you style
and
her hair just like yours.
yeah, okay, so I did that. But it's like right before the show I had to do Barbie's hair. But the way that even came about is as you're doing this inner work, what happens, the more you heal, the more comes up, right? You think,
Mhm.
oh, I'm healed and everything's great.
No.
Well, as you uncover layer after layer after layer, you'll find out, there's all this stuff under, what is it, the tip of the iceberg? There's all this stuff under the water. And
Right.
so I have been finding all these issues from childhood. And so I was having a conversation with a family member, and we began to talk about things that we didn't get as a child. And we talked about, I stopped getting Christmas presents fairly early in my childhood. And that can be kind of damaging because you begin to wonder as a child what's wrong with you. And you don't really trust the adults in your life. And so this family member and I were talking about that. And so as part of her Christmas gift, I gave her a Barbie.
Mhm.
And the whole thing was, okay, so now you don't have to keep having this hungry heart for all these things that you didn't get, because you can give them to yourself. Right. And
Uh-huh.
this Barbie can remind you of all the things that you didn't get. So I was sitting there thinking about, I'm like, shoot, I need a Barbie.
Yes.
And it's just so happens that this family member, she actually looks like the traditional Barbie. She's built like her, and she looks a lot like her. And so I started thinking, is there a Barbie who looks like me?
Ooh.
And so I was on Amazon, and sure enough, here she is, right? And I
Wow.
noticed that on the site, she's not even on the Barbie site anymore. So I think they had discontinued me. And so when I saw this Barbie, the original outfit she came, oh yeah, okay, because I did buy her new outfit. The original outfit that she came in, I literally own every piece. Like she had on this little black fluted skirt and these pink pumps and a blue, and I was like, oh my God, I own that whole outfit.
Oh.
And she had this little purse and these little glasses, and so there was something very symbolic about this for me, right? So not only am I giving myself things that I didn't have as a kid, it also works on some of my self-image issues, right? It's like, wow, I'm beautiful enough that there's a Barbie that looks like
Oh,
me,
I
right?
love
And
that.
sometimes as kids, when you don't see those things that look like you, it makes you
Right.
question that.
Right.
And some of those issues of worthiness around comes from looks.
Mhm.
When your look is not necessarily celebrated in your community, it's not
Mhm.
celebrated in the media,
Mhm.
you can internalize that, right?
Right.
And so this little Barbie is very symbolic to me of, wait a minute, I'm giving myself things I didn't have, right? And
Wow.
her standard of beauty is very similar, even to like, she has kind of a thicker waist.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh wow.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's kind of how the whole Barbie thing came about.
Oh, I just love that. That's beautiful, Rhonda, because people do point to Barbie as setting the standard of beauty in
Right.
America and the world,
Yeah.
and it's wrong. And I grew up with Barbies, and I had issues with my own body image because I'm shaped like a Black woman with bootyliciousness, and Barbie didn't even really have a butt. And Barbie has giant boobs, and I don't. And her waist is this big.
And I was like, this big.
So it is difficult if you're looking at that. Or Farrah Fawcett was sort of the icon when
Right.
we're close in age.
Yeah.
She was the skinny, blonde-haired, feathered, you know.
Mhm.
Anyway, that was very challenging. It still lingers, but
Yeah.
fortunately, curvilliciousness is vogue now.
It really is.
So
Yeah.
grateful for that. So, Rhonda, that's so beautiful. What keeps you going to do this inner work? Because it's not easy. And like you said, more stuff comes up.
Because I just really, I feel like I deserve a good life, right?
Yes.
But I believe that I'm the one who has to do that work. I was having a conversation about this with someone else today, and so as a faith practice, I practice Christianity, and so I was talking to her about this scripture, right? And the scripture is, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly, right? But I believe that part of that abundant life is us taking the tools and taking the God-given gifts and doing something with them, right? I don't think
Ooh.
we just sit here and it's
No.
like, okay, I want an abundant life. Please give me an abundant life. And you just sit
No.
here and wait for this abundant life to fall upon you.
Mm-mm.
I believe that you make those steps, right? And I believe that God blesses those steps that you take. So
Yes.
it's like, okay, if I see that this thing is an issue for me, then I need to work on it,
Yeah.
and do the work.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation that I was having with this particular person is about like I like to do the work of looking at myself, right? And a lot of people don't like that. Like it's just so uncomfortable to look at the truth of who you are. And don't get me wrong, I'm not always happy
No,
when I
no, no,
see,
no. Mm-hmm.
sometimes I look at it, it's like, ugh. And sometimes I have to take a break,
Yes.
from that and
Yes.
watch some bad TV or something. But I believe that that good life and that abundant life is something that is for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to continue to do the work to get to that. So
Mm.
that's what motivates me. And during COVID, a lot of our or a lot of my ways of escaping are gone. There's certain things I can't do. You know, I can't go hang out in the mall well, I can, but I can't go out in the mall and shop for hours. I can't go to a restaurant and do all this eating. I can't go to, a club and just, go out all night. These means of escape that I had prior to COVID.
Right.
I can't do those things. I'm just
Right.
left with myself here in this house. And so am I going to come out of this bitter, or am I going to come out of this better? Not to get too cliche, but
Wait, bitter or better?
bitter or better. I want to be better.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's Barb's here.
So, Rhonda, I think you've spoken many universal truths for women, and one of them is trust. And you can't trust another person until you trust yourself. So, how are you cultivating trust with yourself?
That one's still tough, right? And I was sharing with you earlier that I recently had a very heated discussion with someone about trust. And when I was having this discussion, it was just like, you know what? You don't trust. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. But I had never been motivated before. That's the one thing I had never been motivated to look at. And when I saw that it was becoming harmful for this particular relationship, I thought, you know what? Let me spend that time. And so this is new for me, but it's been, really maybe about a week or so where I've been really delving into this issue of trust. And one of the things that I'm seeing, and I'm looking at a couple of materials, and they're both saying that trust comes first with trusting yourself. And so one of the materials even suggested, why don't you make some promises to yourself and then keep those promises? So if you say you're going to wake up at 5 in the morning, wake up at 5 in the morning. If you say you're going to do 25 jumping jacks, go do 25 jumping jacks. If you say you're going to clean up your bathroom, clean up your bathroom. And so these are very small ways that you can begin to trust yourself. And as you develop that trust for yourself, then that's very instrumental to you just developing trust for others. Now, I'm making it very simple here, but because it's only been about a week or so, I haven't gotten that far in this process. But but that all made a lot of sense to me. So that's kind of my newest journey, is really looking at what are some reasons I don't trust, and it talks about institutional distrust, where you look at, I don't know, green cactuses, and it's like, I just don't trust green cactuses because I touched one once and dagnabbit, it poked my finger. And so now cacti, or is it cacti or cactuses? Cacti? Cactus?
I think plural
Cacti?
is I.
Yeah, cacti. So so I don't trust green cacti.
Great
And
analogy.
so because one hurt my finger once, right? And not realizing that maybe they're not all the same, right? And so then there's also specific distrust. So you can distrust the cactus that poked your finger, but you don't have to distrust all cacti. So it's been enlightening reading this material. It's really been enlightening. Yeah.
That's so amazing. I just admire so much that you're doing the work, because it is difficult. But the consequence of not doing the work is staying in that miserable zone, or at least speaking from my own personal experience. And I also discovered, Rhonda, that when we clear out all the stuff inside of us, it creates this sense of spaciousness, and it opens an area to welcome in new and better, for ourselves. And it feels really good. Self-care is so important.
Yes.
And having the desire and to stick with a self-care regimen is all about loving yourself. We hear that so much. It's like really cliche, but it's real.
It's real. It's real. I'm a big fan of candles in my home and incense and silky things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of living. I had a belly dance teacher who told me this once, just the importance of living a sensual life, right? And when we hear
Ooh,
sensual, we always think sexual, which, I mean, that's
right,
part of it, can be part of it too.
right.
But making certain that we're consuming delicious flavors,
Mm-hmm.
making
Mm-hmm.
certain that we're pretty,
Mm-hmm.
making certain that we smell good, making
Uh-huh.
certain, like this couch behind me that has all these textures. There's a furry
Yes,
texture,
I
there's
love it.
sparkles,
I
there's
want to
you
dive
know,
in.
and so I try to have those things around me. Like even during the pandemic, and that could be really good for like neutral, right? And so I challenged myself recently with my bedroom. It's like, so why are you trying to do that? Because I think neutral's classy, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm
Uh-huh.
like, why don't you just get what you want?
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up with a leopard bedspread and red
Ooh.
sheets and all these pictures. And do you remember Rhoda Morgenstern from the Mary Tyler Moore
Oh,
Show?
yes. Uh-huh.
So my room is looking very Rhoda-esque right now. And even like my bathroom, once again, I just want it to be very sedate and very elegant. I'm like, why? And so
Right.
I ended up getting this shower curtain, and it's this really beautiful, very dark black woman with red lips, and then her hair is made out of flowers and butterflies. That's my
Ooh.
shower curtain now. And then I got about 6 plants and put in there.
Ooh.
And so now every time I walk into my bathroom, I feel like I'm in like a villa in like a vacation villa in St. Thomas or something. It has that feeling, right? And I'm like, so
Ooh.
every time I come and take a shower, I'm happy.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna redecorate my bathroom tonight.
I'll send you pictures after this so you can see it. But
Okay.
so those are the types of things during COVID that I've been doing,
Uh-huh.
just so that we don't know, we don't know how long this is going to last. We thought it was probably going to be over before this. And
Yes.
so we are given, there's some people who are there'll be so much pushback, but there's a gift in this.
Oh, for sure.
There is an
Absolutely.
opportunity
Yes.
for us to pause and to look
Yes.
at the world around us. And okay, after things are back to normal, and I don't think I don't think normal is gonna be like it was before, but
No.
after it's closer to what is familiar to us,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how are we gonna show up? Are we gonna
Yes.
show up in all the same old ways?
No, please
Because it
don't.
wasn't working.
No, right. That's the point. On a spiritual level, that's the reason for the pandemic. Yes, it's terrible and tragic. However, it's forcing us to look at everything that's broken.
Yeah.
And it's our obligation to come up with innovative ideas to repair it, starting with ourselves. So
Yeah.
you're doing it. You are leading that example. You're lighting the light within yourself to glow even brighter than you always have, because you've always been this radiantly beautiful person that I just admire so much. And you've always done your own thing, Rhonda. And I remember your MySpace page. I was like, wow,
You
it
do?
was. Yes, I was scrolling it. It was way back when MySpace was super hot. People probably don't even know what MySpace is anymore.
I
But
know.
oh, it was so impressive. You had, I don't know, your poetry and all these colors, and it was just so enthralling. And
Wow, I didn't know anybody. Wait, I had no idea that anybody was looking at that stuff.
oh,
But see, here's the funny thing, you saying that you inspired me, because I'm going to tell you what inspired me to start writing. And I don't know if you remember during, I can't remember what it was called, but when it was when the Detroit News and the Detroit Free Press, oh, JOA,
uh-huh, the
it's called
joint
JOA.
operating agreement when the papers merged. Mm-hmm.
And so that was a strange time for NABJ, for the National Association of Black Journalists. And I was actually on the Detroit board then, and we were meeting at the Wright Museum. But we were
Oh
meeting at
yeah.
the Wright Museum when it was on Frederick Douglass Street.
Oh
And we
yeah.
had a meeting, and you
Uh-huh.
came into the meeting, and I remember you had a baseball cap on, and you were saying, I just heard from a publisher and they're going to publish my book, White Chocolate. I remember that meeting so well because I had chills. I was like, I know an author. I was just so impressed that you had
Oh,
done that. And I thought, what? And it took me a while before I wrote my first, actually, my only book, my only published book. But I remember thinking, well, Elizabeth is doing this. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do? And
wow.
it took me a while to
Mhm.
actually do it, but
Mm.
it was your example that spurred me on and
Oh
that
my
showed
goodness.
me that it was something that was possible.
Oh, now I have the chills.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, Rhonda, that's amazing. That was a long time ago.
It was a long, long time ago. Yeah. Yeah, because I wrote my
Wow.
book 10 years ago. So it was a
Wow.
long time ago, but it was in part because of your example. Because I
Wow.
was like, why am I hesitating? I know there's a book in me.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes.
So
Oh, that's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. That's our job. We're here to inspire each other
yeah.
and people who don't even know us. Mhm.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not easy, and it's not easy, doing the work some days. I've been crabby pretty much all day. It's so crabby today. I'm so crabby,
Oh no.
you know, but but I can't stay in that place.
Right,
I
right.
can't stay in that place. I mean, it goes
Mhm.
right back to that whole bitter or better, which
Ooh.
which I have a choice.
Uh-huh.
So which one am I going to choose? And I'll always choose better.
I love that. So, Rhonda, on this journey, I know you're a very faithful woman. How does your faith embolden or empower you through these challenges of healing and revelation?
Because no matter what happens, I believe I'll be all right. I
Oh,
believe I'm loved and I believe I'm held. And so no matter what happens and no matter what, the storms that comes and,
uh-huh.
and how I'm crying and flailing and whatever, because
Feeling.
there's that too. Wait, ain't that right, Barbie? She's like, you know.
It's real. It's so cool to admit this
Yeah.
because when the gym was open, I went to the gym almost every day, Rhonda, and I would take my boxing gloves and I learned how to kickbox during my divorce and I would attack the punching bags. Well,
Mhm.
I'm not comfortable going to the gym right now, so I'm at home. So when I get that anger that I have to get out of my body, I've learned how to attack the sofa
Mm,
and I like beat it up and it's not hurting my hands because that's a risk if you punch something, obviously. So I attack the sofa and I just like get it out like this animal, and it only
yeah,
takes a few minutes. And then it's like peace.
yeah,
And then I can meditate. But it's wrong to think that you do a little bit of this work and then you walk around just all zen. That is
yeah. No,
not it
because
at
sometimes you
all.
do the work, and that's what causes you to scream and
Right.
whatnot.
Yes, yes, these feel, and you know what? The emotions roused by this whole experience with COVID
Yeah,
and being at home and not being able to go out and gather at restaurants with friends and have coffee and
yeah,
such, travel, it's difficult on our mental health. There's a lot
yeah,
of solitude, which I find a blessing. I'm getting so much done, but we want that interaction. We want to
yeah,
go out and
yeah.
laugh and dance and stuff.
Yeah, I'm basically introverted, so it hasn't been as hard on me as it has been on many people.
Mhm.
But now it's kind of like, okay, I'm introverted, but can we, move this on now? But it's like chop chop.
Right, exactly. Yes, yes. But better safe than, but you know what I think is going to happen? Remember after the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, the
What happened?
roaring 20s came?
Oh yeah.
Every
Well,
See,
I'll be
that's not a
flappers.
yes, exactly. They had new hairdos, they had new clothing styles, they were different dances. So I think we're going to have the roaring 2020s, I hope, after
I hope
this,
so soon.
because we're all going to be so ready to party, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I was talking to my oldest sister, and she was my oldest sister is she's near 70. Oh, I guess she loves me telling her age here. Another one, this is another one. And
Okay.
so she was saying, she's like, I've never been one to dance in the middle of the floor with a group of girls, but after this, I'm gonna get out there and dance.
Yes.
Because I am one to dance in the
Oh,
floor with a group of girls.
okay.
And she's
Okay.
like, after this, I'm dancing. I know we've been talking about the parties we're gonna have.
Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah, yeah. I had a
wonderful.
virtual birthday party on Monday,
Oh, happy
and we were all
birthday.
talking about after this,
Uh-huh.
we're
Uh-huh.
getting together and all the stuff we did, we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna
Uh-huh.
do it in person.
Oh, I love it. That's beautiful. Happy birthday. And you said you're singing songs to celebrate your birthday. I
I
saw you.
did. I am addicted to online karaoke.
Yes.
And so I was like, I'm going to do a birthday countdown up until my birthday. And I have no problem telling my age. I'm 54.
Uh-huh.
And so I sang 54 songs.
You did?
Yeah, once I got to around maybe song 27, I'm like, why did I say it? Remember, I'm doing all this work on trust. So you do what you say you're going to do.
Oh,
So I
wow.
sang them, all
Mm.
54.
Oh, you're so beautiful. But I was on Instagram one day and I was like, there's Rhonda singing with some man who, is that like a random thing that they pair you with people?
So what happens is you just see what song you want to sing. So if someone's singing a song that you like,
Uh-huh.
you just, you just jump
Oh,
on the song.
uh-huh.
And so some people on there are actually professional singers. And so
Oh,
they don't even know I'm singing with them because they have so many, like you might have one person, 328 people might jump on their song, right?
what?
And whereas there are other people who can't sing at all, and they're just there, and I'm closer to that can't sing at all. I
No, I was captivated. Okay. You were like an angel
am
voice.
a good performer. So that that's what
You're
you're
modest.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Wait, how about thank you?
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. So, and then there are other folks who you end up having a camaraderie with. So,
Hmm.
like my favorite person to sing with is this dude out of Australia. So I have a lot of songs that I sing with him because, and we don't have any conversation outside of singing. So we're not like inboxing. We're not, it's
Hmm.
just, he picks a lot of songs that I like. Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then there's this other guy I sing with a lot because he's obsessed with Sade, right? And I
Oh,
love all of Sade's songs. So I end up
uh-huh.
singing like anytime I post anything Sade, he's gonna sing with me, right? So
Hmm.
because he's like the Sade lover, And then today I had a song that was a Jill Scott song. I'm a soprano, and Jill has such a soulful voice, so a lot of her stuff I can't carry. So I was, the women I know who have these big bold voices, I'm like, hey, you got to help me, girl. And so all these people jumped on. So that's fun. It keeps me
Oh,
out of these COVID streets.
oh, COVID streets.
Because don't you know, I almost went to Florida for my birthday. I had to talk myself down. I'm like, I
Oh,
can't take this anymore. I
I
just want to
know.
put on my bikini and lay on the beach and get some
Ooh,
sun on my belly.
yes.
And mm-mm,
You
can't do
decided
that.
you didn't want to take the risk?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. I gotta
Yeah.
wait. I told myself to, even like with massages, pedicures, and things like that, which I love, right? I
Hmm.
said, why don't you just wait until it's a little warmer?
Hmm.
A few more people have been vaccinated.
Hmm.
And I literally was talking to myself like that because I am ready to do the things that I want to do. But
Yeah. At what
the
cost?
sacrifice, though, it's a sacrifice out of concern for others and for myself.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Wow, Rhonda, I love talking with you so much. You're such a shining light. You're just a wonderful
And I
spirit,
enjoy
and
talking with
beautiful
you as
woman.
well.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the importance of doing the work during the pandemic?
I just think that that's one of the ways that we stay sane throughout this. And
Mm-hmm.
the work is for ourselves, but it's also for the people we love and the people who are around us, so that we can be better partners and better friends, and better siblings and daughters. And so I just think that's why it's important to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, let's stay in touch and let's get together when this is all over, okay?
Absolutely,
All
absolutely.
right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your light here on Boss Up Goddess.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored.
You're welcome. Can we see Barbie one more time?
Where's Barbie? Wait, so that we have our hoe, so that we're twinning a little bit more. Barbie, did you have a good time? Girl, I had a great time.
That is so fun. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I want to buy a Barbie to keep me company too.
Right. I know, it's becoming a thing. It's becoming a thing in my group.
Really? I'm going to find one that's shaped like me too. So my sister and I used to have so many Barbies, and Ken and the condo and the Corvette and the whole deal and all the shoes. And,
Growing up Skipper. Do you know?
Yes, I had growing up Skipper.
I loved her.
With a flip of the arm, she
Her
suddenly
arm,
grew.
and she Does that still work?
Oh my goodness. Growing up Skipper. Who thought of that?
I don't know, but it was great.
It was fun. Wow. Reminiscent. So much fun. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rhonda.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you immensely. And thank you all of you for joining us for this very fun evening with Rhonda Welsh. She is a poetess, an author, and an all-around phenomenal woman. So thank you for joining us. And remember, boss up, goddess, because you have the power. I'll see you next time.